Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
Daddy, I love him.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to It's a Drama. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today, as promised, we are bringing you this episode from the inside of a bus that we're glamping in the Coromandel in New Zealand.
Yep. And if you're from certain parts of England, it's the Buzz.
The what? The Buzz.
The Buzz.
We're bringing you this episode from the Buzz.
The Buzz.
Brian.
Yep.
Yeah. To be honest, when we booked this episode, when we booked this little romantic breakaway, I didn't know it didn't sell itself as glamping. So I want to tell you what glamping is, because this is my.
Was this Google?
Yeah, this is my research.
Okay.
Okay, so glamping is a form of camping that involves accommodation and facilities more luxurious than you would find traditional camping. But the next bit, I think. I find it quite interesting. It says, glamping is likely to satisfy any city slicker, Bri,
That's definitely me, isn't
city
it?
slicker seeking a little refuge in nature. There you go. So I'm sort of regretting saying that we're glamping now, because I've been putting it on Instagram, hashtag glamping, thinking it's really cool. But I don't want to be known as a city slicker, because we live in New Plymouth. We're far from city slickers.
Well, we don't really live in New Plymouth neither, do we?
No.
Yeah, we live under the volcano on a hill.
In the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's just get something straight. We're not city slickers who are thinking, we want to live it up a little bit by pretending we're going roughing it camping.
But we did live in London for a little time.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is that's not why we came here. Glamping, is it?
No. It looked nice on the Airbnb app.
Yeah, and it is. So shall we just tell people? Shall we just tell the listeners at home, and Jim will fix it, what... Why are you doing that face?
It's not really...
No, listen, shall we just tell the audience at home?
Yep.
What our glamping experience, how it started and where it is, and we'll just go from there and make it up as we go along like we always do.
Yep.
Because we're so professional.
Well, let me start off, though, is why did you choose glamping?
Right, well, can we just put it straight?
Yes.
It's not glamping, is it, Bri?
Well, no, it's camping in a bus.
Yeah, it's camping in a bus.
Yeah.
Because...
At someone's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so why did I choose it? I chose it because I absolutely love... I love seeing your face.
That's a fine one.
No, Brian, no.
Yeah.
No. I love it when we have to, and I'm being really honest here. I don't know what it is, but I just love it when we have to struggle a little bit. I don't know what that is, why I feel like that, but it's just, there's just something exciting about doing something that is a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, but you know why that is, don't you?
Why?
Because you just think I'm a little rich kid.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No. I just think it's just so much more interesting than turning up at a flash hotel, white bed linen and nice fluffy dressing gowns, roses on the bed. Yeah. How boring would that be?
Yeah, well, that's us when we did our trip. We keep going, that trip. This is another trip. But what we read that time, 5-star prison.
Mm.
Yeah,
so
it kind of hit home that time.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why we like to do this.
That's why I booked it. Because let's face it, you've been working like 70 hours a week. So why would you want to go to a nice hotel?
I just don't really know what with a sauna and a gym in the morning. And why would you want to come here?
And do you know what sold this to me? I was looking on the Airbnb app and the lady who's advertising it has got the most gorgeous picture. Have you seen it? Did you see it on the front page? It's a picture of the bus. And it's got all fairy lights around the outside, the stars, because it's in the middle of the bush, in the New Zealand bush. The fairy lights all around the outside of the bus. She's got all little candles lit. And it was just, actually, to be honest, I'll be quite honest with you, it looks very romantic. And I'll be totally honest, it has been very romantic, hasn't it,
Yes,
Brian?
it's been very romantic.
It doesn't matter that you've
I'm just going to open my drink.
It doesn't matter that you've just been up in the kitchen fixing the gas boiler because we couldn't get any hot water. It's been a nice romantic break for both of us, I think. Gives you a bit of a change.
Yes, just drinking hard on that drink. That's and I'm actually tonight. I'm drinking a little bit of Jack Daniels.
You are.
Yeah, it helps with the glamping.
Yeah.
Got a bit of help from Jack.
So we booked this. Airbnb. It's what you tell them what it is. What is it? It's a bus, but what is it?
Right. This is looks around about a late 1960s Bedford bus. So it must have been built in the UK, unless they built Bedford buses in New Zealand. I'm not really sure about that, but it was just outside of Luton, where they used to have the Bedford factory, I believe. So it's an old bus. It's not a huge bus, as in a single decker, more like a coach come bus, isn't it? But you can see where there's still got you can put the destination on the little piece of glass above the driver's window or the windscreen.
Not in service.
Yes, not in service anymore. Yeah. And obviously there's no, it's still got its wheels and it's still standing on its wheels with the suspension. So when you walk around, it wobbles around a wee bit. And it's just been all the seats are gone and it's just been made into a little bit of gypsy caravan.
That's what it's called, is the gypsy caravan.
Yeah, they put a little bit of
Gypsy
so you can walk around, because normally on a bus like this, at full height, and I'm extremely tall at 5 foot something.
6.
Yeah, well, maybe 5 foot 10 on a good day if I stand up straight. Like you could actually stand up in this one because Liz is.
Go on, just carry on. Stop it.
So
you shouldn't have your Jack Daniels if you're going to be silly like this.
Go
on, carry on.
And there's a double bed at the back. There's a single bed where the driver would have been. There's a fold out sofa halfway down the bus. There's a lovely wood burner that keeps it nice and warm because it's been extremely cold while we've been here. For New Zealand winter, we had we could see it coming through. There was going to be a cold snap, and it did get down to -1, which is around about what would that be in probably 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So 2 below freezing, that's what they would call it maybe over there. So yeah, it was pretty chilly. And your face in the morning going in for your shower.
Sorry?
Yes, your face.
Careful. What was my face?
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, eh?
Was it just like seeing Snow White wake up?
Just, yes, with those little dicky birds flying everywhere.
That's right, okay, so I'll carry on. The bus, yes, it's beautiful. It's sort of like, it is very gypsy, but it's also very got lots of Asian-y colours in here, hasn't it? It's got lots of deep reds.
It's got a bit of butter in here, isn't there?
Yeah, lots of lovely Buddha statues, lots of wood. It's just gorgeous. It's been a labour of love. I think the owners probably did it for themselves.
Yep.
And then they've decided for whatever reason to rent it out. But it really is. So much detail has gone into it. Lots of gorgeous fabrics, a big comfy couch. Like Bryce said, lovely big wood burner. The table that we're sitting at now is like it reminds us of a little railway, when you're on a train and you're sitting
in a Pullman carriage.
A little table. No way is there enough room for 5 people to sit around this table.
But don't forget, in the summer, normally,
you'd be outside.
You'd be 35, 40 degrees sometimes here. So, yeah.
And there's a tiny little sink so you can clean your teeth and, maybe have a cup of water or tea or whatever, because we brought a little gas stove with us but there isn't any cooking facilities on board.
No.
There's no bathroom facilities on board. It's just a place to sleep and relax and... there's a little tap that you can clean your teeth. And that's what I just said. So this place, it's in the bush in the Coromandel National Park, and on the property has got 10 acres. And just up the steps from us is a little bathroom, a toilet and bathroom, a shower and
a composting toilet.
Which Brian, you love that composting toilet.
It's just absolutely,
you love it. You want one of those at home.
Yeah.
You want to marry that composting toilet.
I'm going to actually put that in the car so you can sit on that on the way home.
I've never seen anyone so happy when you saw that composting toilet, Brian. No, anyway, so it's got a nice remember, to be eco, Brian. It's got a nice eco, and don't start. It's got a nice eco, so I can see your face. It's got a nice eco composting toilet and a nice shower.
Where do you put the poo for 2 years to make it into compost?
Shush.
Because that's
And
how long it's supposed to take.
Shush. This isn't about that. This isn't about you and your feelings about toilets. It's got a nice shower, and then you go up some steps through the woods, through the bush, and it's all lit by little fairy lights, little solar fairy lights, and you go up, and there's a big camp kitchen. It's just fantastic, to be honest, isn't it? I mean, it's outside.
So a camp kitchen. It's an old Pottery Studio. That's what we believe it was. And it's got a pizza oven in there, and it's inside. It's undercover, but it's open to the elements a little bit at the top.
Yeah, it's got no windows, is it?
It has got windows, but you can
put your hand down the side of the seal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and over the top and things like that. So it's got wind protection to a degree, but it's kind of open to the elements. Yeah,
and it's all on the walls are just like hanging. Like big, it looks like an Indian bazaar in there, doesn't it? She's got such gorgeous taste, this lady that owns this. Yeah. Very arty and just very, it's just lovely, really lovely. And everything you need is there. But let's just say, Bri, it's not, it's outside. So
it's not luxury. That side of the glamping is not.
And there's lots of like rat poo all over the dishes and stuff like that. No, there is in the drawer. No, the lady does say that. She said, "No, I'm not being." She says, "Be aware that this is outside. We have critters, rodents, and of course, you're going to expect that."
Not that we've seen any rats or anything.
No,
we
haven't. We haven't seen any rats.
But we know that maybe a possum had the banana.
Poo. I have some mice poo.
Yeah. So but you just wash everything before you use it.
Yeah, of course you do.
Fine.
Yeah, you do wash everything before you use it. Brian, I hope you're not trying to make out that I'm being like that when last night...
But you've got to, this is what you've got to understand as in, we're saying glamping. Glamping is normally glamorous camping. That's what it means, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that side of it is not overly glamorous, but it's still better than sharing a kitchen in a normal campsite.
That doesn't bother me. I mean, I think if you were bothered about spiders and mice and whatever, possums in New Zealand, if you were bothered about that, you wouldn't come and stay in the middle of the bush in New Zealand, would you?
No.
You just wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing in New Zealand, just to verify that will sting you or kill you. No. It's not like Australia. So there's no snakes, there's no nothing, there's the odd spider that might give you a nip, but then the spiders all around the world give you a nip, but they won't actually, you can't die from any of the spiders. In New Zealand, apparently. So, there's nothing to be worried about like that.
But you're making out that I'm being a little bit, I don't like mice poo. But last night when we filled the bush bath up,
yes,
and so basically there's a bath in the middle of the bush. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
It's a big old cast iron bath.
Yeah,
and it's been built around it with rocks and stones, and
it's got a fire underneath it. You light a fire to get the water hot, and there's a hose pipe coming from a natural spring into the bath. Brian, when I filled that bath up yesterday, what did you say to me?
I'm not good at that.
Thank you.
There you go.
So why are you saying that? I'm saying that about the mouse
poo. Because it was rather brown.
That's all right, because when we go on holiday, if you go down to Taupo, in the centre of the North Island in New Zealand, that is around Rotorua, Taupo, that area that is famous for its natural hot springs. You can pull up at the side of the road and you can get into a natural hot spring. It's muddy, it's brown, it's green, it's whatever it is. And you'll get in there and be like, oh yeah, this is just so natural. So what's the difference?
The difference is, I suppose, I've spent my working life mainly as a plumber, and giving people clean water.
Yeah, but it's not going to hurt you because you're not going to drink it.
It doesn't, but it's just that when you've done so many tests on water and springs and stuff, it's like, sometimes I kind of know what's in there. So
you've just got to close your mind to things like that, Brian.
You do, but that's just when you've worked in it, it's just like, it's a little bit tricky. Not tricky, but it's, not tricky wasn't the right word to say.
No,
but it just plays on your mind.
You think twice about it. Yep. What you've got to do, Brian, is just take a deep breath and just think. You're in nature. You're glamping with your wife. We are going to get in that bath. We don't care that the bath water is brown and sludgy. We're getting in it.
We're getting in. Yep.
And don't suggest bringing the Radox like you did last night.
Well, I like Radox. It's got 7 herbs and spices or whatever it used to be.
No, it's
I'm only kidding.
I know. But it's just been. Oh, have you liked it as much as I have?
Oh, just a bit.
Yeah.
I've loved it because, like you say, you work, and then, the trouble is we've only come away for, how many is it?
No, we've been 5 nights.
5 nights.
Yeah.
But you could do with another 5 nights, really, just to wind down. But we are going away in a few weeks, aren't we?
But I think, do you think glamping in New Zealand, do you think that this is more relaxing or not more relaxing than going and staying in a nice posh hotel?
Yeah, it is, because in a posh hotel, you either have what they call room service, or you've got to go
that'd
and...
be nice, wouldn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it would be.
Can you imagine that? Laying in bed.
Maybe they should do glamping with room service. Yeah, that'd be even better, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be good. But yeah, or you've got to go and socialise with a bunch of people not socialise, but in the restaurant. So, when you never know what you're going to get in a hotel or how it's going to be. But I don't know. It's just you can't not relax when you come here. And that's the difference. You're sitting out in the bush. It's, we had ice on the car, which in New Zealand, you don't really get ice on the North Island. So where the Coromandel is, if you're looking at the North Island, because there's 2 islands in New Zealand, the big South Island, but that's 1 million people live there, and 3 million to 4 million people live on the North Island. And in the northeast corner of the North Island is the Coromandel.
I'm just having a muscle.
I can see that. So you're going to keep me talking now, aren't you?
Go on, keep going.
Yeah,
This is a chewy muscle.
Yep. So
I'm eating smoked mussels.
It would be classed as a temperate climate because it's a peninsula, but then it got down to -1, and I have to keep saying that -1. It doesn't often get to that temperature here in New Zealand.
No.
Not in the North Island, anyway. It does in the centre of the North Island, up in the mountains like Whakapapa, where the ski resorts are, obviously. But to get that and be...
What did you think, Brian, when you saw -1 on the temperature?
I was very happy. I took some pictures, didn't I?
Do you know what?
What?
I think if you hadn't been a plumber, I think you should have been a weatherman.
Well,
because you are obsessed with the weather.
Yeah, but it's because I'm a heating specialist. That's why. I am so fascinated with the weather. Because I have to think about, am I going to get a call saying the heating system's not doing the job it's supposed to have done? So that's why. I'm going to have a muscle now.
So Coromandel is famous for it's famous for seafood, especially mussels and oysters. And
they're very good.
Yeah, they're absolutely delicious. And we're going to make another podcast on the Coromandel because I think it deserves a podcast episode all on its own. But yeah, just to tell you that part of New Zealand, because to be honest, I'd forgotten how absolutely gorgeous the Coromandel is.
Yeah, because we came here 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's one of those areas that people talk about a lot. And for some reason, we haven't been back here. I don't know why. We've never come on holiday here. I don't know why. It's literally 5 hours from where we live, and we haven't been here in the last 11 years. I can't believe it.
Well, neither can I when I think about it.
It's just so beautiful. And so, yeah, I'm happy with our choice of staying in the bus.
I think it's been lovely.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed
that you
it.
didn't like?
It was tricky this morning. I'll say tricky again for the second time.
Word today,
Tricky. Yeah. Because the water stopped.
Tricky dicky.
So that was a bit weird. So we couldn't have a shower this morning, which was just like, whoa. But the guys who are staying here, the Helpex, the like woofers, they got it sorted, and I was going to help, but decided not to.
Aww.
Yeah, but it was almost like let them sort it out.
Because you're on your holidays.
I'm on my holidays. Yeah.
Describe the shower to me.
Well, let's just set the scene. So Liz will be she does morning notes where she writes for a wee bit, and then she'll come in to me and she'll go, right, I'm going to go for it. And I was like, go for what? I'm going to go for a shower. And it's quite an effort to go for a shower because there's the bush bathroom, again, is open to the elements. Mm-hmm. So there's no heat in there. So this is now -1 and you're going to go and have a shower. And it takes around about 5 minutes for the shower to get hot because it comes from the camp kitchen, which is around about, 50 meters away. And by the time it gets through to where we are, it's only just warm enough, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not a particularly
It's a
powerful.
dribble.
It's a dribble. Yeah.
Do you know the worst thing about having a shower when it's outside is getting undressed?
Yeah. And
then
dressed
getting
again.
dressed again, yeah.
Yep.
That's the worst part because...
If they could ever invent something, I think the best invention would be something to dry you when you got out of the shower. Not just a towel.
Just like a big drying machine.
Just something that would dry you, because it's just, I hate getting dried. I don't know what it is.
I could always come in and dry you if
Yeah,
you
well,
like,
there you go.
Brian.
You can always pat me with yeah.
I could be waiting outside with a nice fluffy towel saying, Brian...
Yeah. Which bits do you want
I'm ready.
drying? Thank you.
I'm ready, Brian, to give you a dry.
Yeah.
No, and what about look, before we go, I just need to talk about the composting toilet. And don't start going on about can you just not start going on about that? About your thoughts on
composting toilets?
No, yeah, but you can go...
We could do a podcast on
I know, well,
composting
you
toilets.
just talk for hours on it, Brian. To be honest, I'm not interested. But listen, what do you think? What do you think? What should people expect about a composting toilet? Do you know what I thought a composting toilet was?
Go on. Let's have your idea.
And I'm married to a plumber.
Yep.
And a heating specialist and a weatherman. And I thought a composting toilet was a box, right, with a toilet seat on it.
With some John
obviously.
Innes in it.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
What, with little plants growing in it?
No, I thought there was going to be a bag of compost in there.
Really?
I thought it was going to be soil. So when we got here, and it was like this bucket with nothing in there.
Well, it's not a bucket.
Well,
If you can imagine a tea chest, because I think that's what half of these things are made of, with like a bucket inside it, with a toilet seat on it, then that's the composting toilet. So everything goes down into it.
Yeah, but the word is wrong, because when you say composting toilet, I don't know. It just anyway. So
it becomes compost.
What's that thing that you put on top?
This type of composting toilet has, I believe it's either I think it's a pine chippings,
right?
And you put the pine chippings onto. They're untreated. You put them onto the poo basically.
Yeah.
And you cover it up, and then the next person does the same thing, and then when it gets full, you empty it, and then you put it into another container. And in 2 years, it becomes human ore, which
human
is
what?
Well, like you have manure.
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 Oh, manure, as in man. Manure.
Yeah, human. Manure is what the farmers put on the fields. Yeah, cow.
Oh,
poo.
so it's not cow. It's not man.
So man is humanure.
Oh.
Yep.
Right.
So that was what it becomes, which is fine in 2 years for growing.
Yeah.
Up to 2 years. It can take a year, but normally the best stuff is like 2 years old. So you've got to store it somewhere for 2 years.
Well, you just put it in the wheelbarrow down in the bottom of the garden, don't you?
No, it has to stay in the container.
Oh, it has to stay in the container.
Yeah. Like a wheelie bin or something like that. You would leave it in there for...
Well, it wouldn't take long to fill that up, because that thing's been emptied
I know.
4 times, because we're sharing it with a few other people, aren't we?
We weren't going to talk about composting toilets.
Oh, no. So let's change the subject then. Right. So anyway, rather than composting toilet, has it been really romantic? Nice little romantic break for us, hasn't it, Brian?
It has. It's been great. The bush bath last night was fantastic.
Yeah.
We will get some pictures up there on the...
Yeah.
I mean, right now, we're in the bus. We've got the chicken in the pan is in the oven, up about 50 metres away in the camp kitchen. And we're the only people here at the moment. There's only this and a gypsy caravan. That's all that's here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is like a, I don't know, 1970s Kiwi caravan, which has all been gypsified. And the fire is on under the bush bath.
Yep, we filled the bush bath up. We've lit the fire.
Yep. So that will be around about 42 degrees when we go in that, which I can't remember what that would be in Fahrenheit. But yeah, pretty hot.
And it's so beautiful because it's in the middle of the bush, literally in the middle of the bush. It's got like stepping stones to it. You set up the fire under the bath, you light it, and you put all the candles on around. Do you know what I love about this place? She's super laid back, isn't she?
Yeah, she's got lots of candles and joss sticks and everything for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not like, oh, don't light it, don't light the candles and don't do this and be careful with the fire. And I think, they treat you like adults, like, you're not going to be silly. You're not going to go and set the place on fire, are you? But that's what I really like about this. I've got to give a big shout out to that is I think when someone is really laid back with you, and it just makes you relax so much more. Where again, if you go to a hotel, Bri, you know, and the sheets are all white and everything's just perfect, and you take a glass of red wine in there and spill it, you're like, oh, you know, it's just
or if one thing is
of,
wrong, when you go and you spent a load of money on a hotel and one thing is wrong or is niggling you, there's a hair in the shower that shouldn't have been there, or they didn't clean the toilet properly for you, or they didn't, straighten the bed sheets properly or something, you know, you're like, oh, and
I paid a lot of money for this.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, before we go, should we just say how much we paid for this Airbnb?
Yep.
Do you know?
$100 a night, I believe.
100, and that includes cleaning and
composting toilet stuff.
The cleaning and the fee for Airbnb, which the lady said to us, now we've got her number, she's going to do us a better deal next time we come back. So that's the fantastic thing about Airbnb, is you get to know the people. So I'd imagine that, you know, if you booked this the second time, I would imagine it's going to be about 80 New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, whatever Airbnb take out.
Yeah.
10 or 15% normally.
Yeah. So we highly recommend it. We're having a lovely time, and yeah, I'm glad that we've been able to do our podcast from the bus and, you know, just bring it to you, and hopefully it gives you an idea of what it's like. And when you come to New Zealand, you have got to get on the Airbnb website, look for that bus. There's only one in the Coromandel, I would imagine. And
if not, we'll put a link on the podcast somewhere. Hey?
Yeah, we'll put a link in the notes.
In the picture, just click the picture or something, it'll take you to it.
So we've got to go now because we're going to go and get into our bush bath.
Yeah.
And then have our dinner. And so the next time you speak to us, we'll be at home, back in New Plymouth in our house. I'm going to be quite sad to leave here, Bri.
Oh, well, it will be. Just don't forget that this is Kiwi-as, and don't expect too much, and you'll love it. If you expect too much, then you won't love it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
but
good
it's
advice.
just Kiwi-as, which just means she'll be right. And it is.
Yeah, Kiwi-as is just, it is. It's like that. It's just, I can't, well, how do you explain Kiwi-as? Because people say that, don't they? Oh, it's just Kiwi-as. It just means it's really Kiwi. It's just really down to earth.
Yeah, it's not polished.
No.
But it's just, that's what makes it special.
It's the best.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's like when you used to go to Greece years ago before it came, you know, the big tourist companies got hold of it, you know. I'm not talking Corfu, I'm talking like the Greek, you know.
Yeah, like Paros and Santorini.
Cyclades islands, yeah. Hard word to say that. Actually better Jack Daniels.
So yeah, highly recommend it, and we'll put a link in the show notes. And until next time, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all your lovely comments as well that you've left on both the blog and the podcast. Really appreciate that. And I will speak to you soon.
Hey, thank you so much. And if you can, leave a 5-star review, as Sunny would say. Maybe Sunny will come back soon when we get back and do it.
Sunny's been really busy.
I know he's been so busy, and we miss him on the podcast.
Yeah, I miss you, Sunny. It's just, we're gonna get you back on and tell us exactly what you've been up to.
Yeah, well, he's got some exciting things coming up.
He has. He's got some exciting news. Yeah.
Yeah. So go steady.
Okay. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on the podcast. We have loved having you here.
If you guys could subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a 5-star review.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That would be absolutely amazing. And make sure to share the podcast with your friends.
And if you'd like to hop over to the blog, find one of the little boxes that ask you to drop your email. I will send you a newsletter every week letting you know when we've released our new podcast. That will go straight into your inbox. So it's www.itsadrama.com.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week for another podcast.
Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.